Jack Leonard Warner was a well-known figure in the movie industry. He was born on December 29, 1892, in the United States. As a young man, Jack was not sure about what he wanted to do. He and his three brothers were always looking for ways to make a living. They had some small businesses before they decided to start a movie company. Jack's interest in movies grew when he and his brothers began to see how big and successful the movie industry was becoming in the early 1900s. In 1923, Jack and his brothers founded Warner Brothers, a film studio in Hollywood. This was the start of a new chapter in the history of movies. At first, the Warner Brothers studio was not well known. The company made a few films, but they didn't get much attention. It was a time when many other movie companies were trying to become famous. However, Jack and his brothers did not give up. They worked hard, trying to make Warner Brothers a big name in Hollywood. One of the biggest moments in Jack Warner's life came in 1927. Up until this time, movies were silent. People could see the actors on the screen, but there was no sound. It was a strange way of making movies. Jack believed that sound was the key to making movies better. He worked hard to bring sound to the film industry. The result was The Jazz Singer, the first movie that included synchronized sound. This film changed everything for Warner Brothers and for Hollywood. Audiences loved it. People could now hear the actors speaking and singing, and this made movies more exciting. After The Jazz Singer, many other movies started to include sound, and Jack Warner was praised for his work in creating this change. After the success of The Jazz Singer, Warner Brothers became one of the most important film studios in Hollywood. They made many great movies during the 1930s and 1940s, a time known as the Golden Age of Hollywood. Warner Brothers produced popular films in many different genres, including dramas, musicals, comedies, and action movies. Jack Warner knew what people wanted to watch, and he made sure his company created films that audiences would enjoy. Jack was also responsible for bringing some of the most famous stars of the time to Warner Brothers. Actors such as Humphrey Bogart, Errol Flynn, and James Cagney became famous while working with Warner Brothers. Jack made big decisions about which movies to produce and which actors to hire. He played a key role in the development of Hollywood stars and helped create some of the most famous movies of all time. Although Jack Warner was a visionary and made Warner Brothers very successful, he was not always easy to work with. He had a strong personality and could be very demanding. He made many important decisions about the company, and not everyone agreed with him. Sometimes, Jack's decisions caused problems with other people in the business. However, he was very focused on success and believed that his choices would help Warner Brothers grow. His determination and business skills were important for the company's success. During the 1950s and 1960s, Hollywood went through some changes. The rise of television made it harder for movie studios to keep the same level of success. People were staying home and watching TV instead of going to the movies. This was a challenge for Jack Warner and Warner Brothers. Jack tried to keep the company strong by investing in new kinds of entertainment, including television. He made some important decisions to expand the company's influence in the world of TV shows. Even though television was changing the way people watched entertainment, Jack Warner continued to try to keep Warner Brothers a powerful name in the industry. Despite his efforts, Warner Brothers faced difficulties in the 1970s. The film industry was different, and Jack Warner was no longer able to run the company in the way he had before. In 1973, Jack Warner retired from his active role at Warner Brothers. He had spent many years building the company, and it was time for him to take a step back. While Jack was no longer leading the company, Warner Brothers continued to make movies. However, the studio was changing, and the films made after his retirement were very different from the ones he had helped create. Jack Leonard Warner's legacy lives on today. Even though he is no longer alive, his influence on the movie industry is still very strong. Many of the films he helped create are still loved by people around the world. Warner Brothers is one of the biggest and most successful movie studios today, and much of its success is thanks to Jack's hard work and vision. He helped shape the movie industry and brought new ideas that changed how people watch movies. His story is a reminder of how important it is to take risks and believe in your ideas. Even though Jack Warner was a tough businessman, he is remembered for the impact he had on Hollywood and the film industry. He was a person who was not afraid to make bold decisions and take chances. His work changed the way people experienced movies, and his company helped create some of the most famous films and stars of all time. Warner Brothers is still one of the biggest names in entertainment, and Jack Leonard Warner's name will always be connected to its success. His work has had a lasting impact on the world of movies, and his story continues to inspire people in the film industry and beyond. Today, when people watch a Warner Brothers movie, they are still experiencing a part of Jack Leonard Warner's legacy. His vision, creativity, and determination helped shape Hollywood into what it is today. Jack Warner's journey from a small movie company to a huge global entertainment brand is a story of hard work, creativity, and leadership.